Hello, and welcome back to the EmbodyME podcast. We are in the Conscious Code series covering all of the human design gates, gene keys, and I Ching hexagrams, all 64 of them. And today we're talking about gate 55, which is the abundant free spirit. And in human design, this is referred to as the gate of spirit, the gate of abundance, or the gate of faithful. This is located in the emotional solar plexus center, moving towards the root center via gate 39 in the channel of emoting, which is the design of moodiness. So in the gene keys, this is called the Dragonfly's dream, and it's in the tropical sign of Pisces, and it is in the Vedic sign of Aquarius. In the I Ching, this is referred to as abundance. Spiritual thunder ignites passionate fire. We're in a very passionate time of year. And I personally am very connected to gate 55. This is my conscious earth, my evolution sphere, and I definitely feel the energies of this gate. And you might even see this within me as I go over the shadows, gifts, and cities of the frequencies of this gate. So let's start with the overall energy of gate 55, which is all about emotional energy and its profound connection to the concept of spiritual abundance. The energy of this gate is often characterized by emotional extremes, oscillating between intense highs and deep lows. The core theme is to learn how to navigate through these emotional waves and wisdom and acceptance, seeing the potential for creativity and growth in even the darkest moments. This gate prompts us to engage with our emotions, not to shun or suppress them, in order to harness their transformative power. And when in balance, those with this gate active can experience life in its fullest depth and richness, embodying a spirit of abundance that transcends material wealth. So in summary, the energy of gate 55 is deeply emotional, mystical, and transformative, inviting individuals to experience life's abundance through a profound connection with their emotions and spirit. And that leads us to the shadow of victimization, which embodies the struggle of feeling caught in a web of emotional highs and lows, causing a perspective of being a victim of circumstances and emotions. So if you have a repressive nature or you're more introverted, this can show up as complaining, where you have an unconscious mindset that makes itself the central victim within your own drama and takes away your own power. And in a reactive state, or if you're more of an extroverted personality, this can show up as blame. And when we blame someone else, we fire an arrow at the other, taking away our power. We become the victim of our own drama and an actor in our play, where we could take control of that power. We're giving someone else the power through blame, blaming our low emotions on someone else. I feel this way because of that person. We're giving our power away in our shadow. So in your shadow, you have a fear of emptiness. You might lack passion or feeling in your life because you worry that you could be left emotionally empty. And this can cause you to resist periods of quietness or stillness, mistakenly associating them with lack or absence. And you do have a victim consciousness in your shadow where you might often feel like a victim of your emotions or your circumstances. And this mindset can lead you to blame external factors or other people for your lows, robbing you of your own power and ability to manage your emotional state. You have a fear of lack, where you may struggle with feelings of scarcity and inadequacy, and this could manifest as indecisiveness, hoarding, and a propensity to fight to get more than your share. And you do have emotional extremes where you could experience intense mood swings and emotional highs and lows. And these wild fluctuations may leave you feeling out of control and overwhelmed by your emotional state. And you have this romantic longing where you have a tendency to romanticize life and relationships, leading to an unrealistic expectation or eventual disappointment when reality does not live up to your ideals. So you have this longing, this perpetual hunger that lives within you, and you're constantly yearning for something more, something better. This unfulfilled longing can trap you in a cycle of perpetual hunger, preventing you from appreciating and experiencing abundance in the present moment. And this gate is very about the present moment, what's happening now, and how you're feeling right now. Because this is in the emotional solar plexus, this is a very strong emotional wave. And you do have your very high highs where you feel super abundant, and then you have your lows where you feel lack and empty and like this inner void, this melancholy that lives within you. But in the gift, which is freedom, this signifies the transformational process of using your emotional wisdom to navigate life's challenges and reach a state of inner freedom and abundant spirit, symbolizing a paradigm shift into an era of emotional maturity. This is where you make friends with the melancholy. This is where you understand that you do have this emotional wave and you accept it and you embrace it. And because you embrace it, you become free of your victimhood. You're no longer giving others the power over your emotional state. You just understand that you are an emotional being. You accept and embrace that. And because of that, you become free. You're no longer blaming others or yourself. You just allow the waves of emotion to ride through you. And you also make friends with the melancholy because in that state, that's where your most powerful and transformational and inspiring creations derive. So let's talk about the gift of freedom. It's all about being abundant and feeling abundant in your spirit, not based on the material belongings that you have, but based on who you are as a soul. And you possess a deep understanding that abundance is a question of spirit, not material wealth. And this perspective allows you to find fulfillment and joy in all aspects of life, regardless of your physical circumstances. And you become a master over your emotions. You have the potential to develop great emotional wisdom and become proficient in the art of emotional alignment. So by embracing your feelings, you can harness them as creative fuel and direct them toward positive and productive outlets. And you feel joy and passion deeply. You have the ability to experience the highs and lows of emotions intensely. And this allows you to truly celebrate and revel in the moments of joy and passion. And you're resilient. Your experiences dealing with the emotional extremes can build a very high degree of resiliency within you. And this can develop into emotional wisdom, empowerment, and decisiveness. So when you're feeling low, you trust in the universe that you're in the wave of your lower emotions, and you trust that you will rise again into the higher state of emotion. You basically just tell yourself, hey, I'm feeling funky today. I'm going to embrace this right now. I'm going to befriend this because I know that it's a part of me. And I'm going to create from this space. I'm going to make friends with this space. And this is something that I struggle with, especially because this is my evolution sphere. It is what grounds me. It is the challenge of my life to accept myself when I'm in the emotional lows and to learn how to make friends with that space and to learn how to create something beautiful when I'm in that state of emotion. And you also have a heightened appreciation for sound and music, which can soothe and uplift you. And this auditory sensitivity could lead to a deep connection with music or sound-based healing modalities. I'm very affected by any frequencies, and of course, I love music. Any feel-good song, any pick-me-up song is my go-to always because it literally uplifts my spirit. And that's what this is all about. This is the gate of spirit. What state of spirit are you in? Are you abundant or are you a victim? Are you in lack or do you see the pure potentiality around you? Do you know that when you're in these lower states of frequency that it's only for a period of time and that abundance and the feeling of freedom is right around the corner and that this is just a temporary state for you? And that leads us to the gift, which is also freedom. This is the only one of the 64 gene keys that the Siddhi and the gift are the same. So the gift is freedom, and so is the Siddhi. But the Siddhi takes it to an even higher level where it's the highest state of spiritual liberation, transcending emotional patterns, releasing victim consciousness, and embracing the boundless spiritual abundance that pervades the universe, initiating a profound shift in the collective consciousness. This gate is very important in the transcendence or the ascension of the human collective, in addition to gate 22, which is also very important for the ascension of humanity. So freedom is all about being free to be exactly who you are in any state of being, whether it's low or high. And I think there's a lot of toxic positivity in the spiritual community. I know when I first started looking into the law of attraction, manifestation, I felt that I needed to always be in an emotional high or thinking positive thoughts and good vibes only, until I realized that understanding your shadow, visiting your shadow, and accepting the fact that we are human and that we came here to experience the full spectrum of emotions. And I no longer stopped myself from feeling low emotions. Instead, I embrace them. I feel everything. I allow myself to do that because I understand that when I don't, I'm trapping that negative energy into my auric field. And then that victim consciousness can rise within me, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's because I did not allow the space to feel my shadow, to embrace my shadow, to allow the emotional energy to move through me so that it can be transmuted, so that I can feel free again. And to recognize when I feel like the victim or when I'm blaming another for my personal state of being, how much power am I giving away? I'm not free in those moments when I am placing the blame on someone else. And if you have this gate active in your chart, the way you can use this in your brand, in your business, the way I use it, this is my entire message, that you have the freedom to be exactly who you are in your brand, in your business, to show up fully as yourself and to feel free being exactly who you are. And to know you can almost even teach others to embrace their emotional highs and lows and how to transmute those lows, how to take their power back when they feel negative emotions coming through, how to sit with those emotions in order to alchemize them, and how to make sure that when we feel like we want to blame others for our emotional state, that we do not hand that power over to anyone. We take responsibility for the victimhood that we are currently feeling, and understanding that we don't have to give our power away to anyone else, that we have ultimate control of how we are feeling by allowing the feelings to be there, by not forcing them to leave our system, by not suppressing them and keeping them stuck in our auric field, and to be the beacon of hope, of abundance, to live abundantly, to understand that you are abundance itself, that you don't need anything material in order to understand your worth, your value, your connection to spirit, and that your soul is truly what is valuable, not any material or physical thing. So here are some contemplative questions. If you have Gate 55 active in your chart, how can I shift my perspective from victimization to empowerment in my life? How am I processing my emotional highs and lows? Am I allowing them to drive my decisions? And in what ways can I cultivate trust in the abundance of life in the universe? And here are some tips that you can use to further embrace the shadow of victimhood and embody the gift of freedom. Acknowledging your emotions. Understand your emotional highs and lows is an important step. Your moods are not your enemies. They are signals and guides to deeper understanding. Embrace them as part of your human experience. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially during times of emotional turmoil. This will help you cultivate a compassionate inner dialogue, which is key in moving from the shadow to the gift. And cultivate an abundance mindset. Start shifting your perspective to see the abundance around you. It's not always about material wealth, but about appreciating the richness of experiences, relationships, and personal growth opportunities in your life. So, having this gate as my conscious earth, my evolution sphere in the gene keys, part of my incarnation cross, I am either in a funky mood or I am super happy-go-lucky, chipper, everything's great. Like, when I'm in that freedom state, let me tell you, everyone around me feels it. I am in pure abundance, regardless of my circumstances. And yeah, I have the ability to really brighten and enlighten the room with the essence of freedom. And I preach that you should always feel the freedom to be exactly who you are, regardless of your emotional state, to embrace all of yourself and every state of being that you're in, to not fight against your emotional highs and lows, but to allow them to be and know that they will pass. So that is gate 55, the abundant free spirit. And I'm so happy to be able to share this gate with you. I feel like it's a part of me. And with that being said, thank you so much for your presence here again. I'm feeling super abundant that you're here. And I will see you again when the sun transits into the next human design gate.